Hi, I'm Lisa. Let's learn some rules about the American accent while at the same time learning some expressions related to American politics and specifically the presidential election. As you probably know, we have two major political parties. We have the Democrats and the Republicans. Let's make sure you can pronounce Democrats correctly and listen to the syllable stress changes. Listen, Democrats, Democrats. Reduce the O. We stress the first syllable, Democrats. But listen to the syllable stress change of this word, democracy, democracy. And listen to the adjective, democratic, democratic. Three different ways of stressing the syllables depending on the word form. Let's say that again. Democrat, democracy, democratic. And do you know the expressions, the blue states and the red states? The blue states are more likely to vote for a Democrat, and the red states are more likely to vote for a Republican. So we say blue states, red states. And on this map, you can see the blue states and the red states. But also, we have the swing states, sometimes also called the purple states, or the battleground states. In those states, we are not sure if they will vote red or blue. And that's why they're called battleground states, because that's where the battle is going to happen for the election. And one more thing that you may not have known about the Democrats and the Republicans. We have the donkey and the elephant. If you ever see political cartoons or symbols representing the two different parties, you will see a donkey representing the Democrats, and you will see an elephant representing the Republicans. And now let's talk about the two different candidates, and let's learn how to pronounce their names correctly. Both of them are difficult in different ways. Let's make sure you can pronounce them with an American accent. First, let's learn to pronounce the name of the Democratic Party candidate, Joe Biden. Let's look at the D-E-N. Listen to my pronunciation. Most people say it like this, Biden, Biden. Most people don't say Biden, they say Biden. The D-E-N is reduced and we hold the D, Biden, Biden. Let's listen to how people pronounce his name.
Is Joe Biden the only one who loves trains in Washington?
So if you were to give Vice President Biden...
Vice President Joe Biden.
Let's practice some other words with the same pronunciation pattern. Ridden, ridden. So it's ride, rode, ridden. Have you ever ridden a horse? Have you ever ridden a horse? So Americans generally don't say ridden, they say ridden. Another example is hidden, hidden. Hide, hid, hidden. Repeat after me. I can't see it. It's hidden from view. I can't see it. It's hidden from view. Another example is widen. Repeat after me. They're widening the road to improve traffic flow. They're widening the road to improve traffic flow. And some other words with the same pattern include sudden, sudden, suddenly, suddenly, and burden, burden. Let's say his name again, Joe Biden, Joe Biden. And let's look at the pronunciation of his first name. Look at the vowel sound. It sounds like this, O, O. This is a sound that doesn't exist in most other languages. Probably in your language you have O, but you may not have O. It's actually two sounds, O, O, O. So don't say Joe, it's Joe, Joe, Joe Biden. And now let's learn some expressions related to politics and the election that have that same O sound. The first one is to hold office. First, round your lips for the O, hold, hold. But in the word office, it's a very different sound. American pronunciation can be very difficult, specifically related to the O sounds. Listen again. Hold office. Watch my face again. O-ah. O-ah. Hold office. Hold office. To hold office means to have a large and powerful job, especially in government. And now let's make a sentence. Some people think he's too old to hold office. Did you pronounce those O's correctly? We have the O in old and the O in hold, same pronunciation, but office is different. And as you can see, English pronunciation can be so difficult. There are so many different rules to know. The O sound is difficult, but there are other very difficult vowel sounds. And I want to remind you, if you have not yet bought the American Accent course, I sell it on my website, accurateenglish.com. The American Accent course contains 7 hours of video teaching you all of the rules that you need to know for a good, clear American accent. We cover vowels in great detail. Also, we cover all of the difficult English consonant sounds, plus rhythm and melody and intonation and all the difficult things related to English pronunciation and the American accent. And there are also downloadable exercises and quizzes and different audio tracks that you can download. And the new version contains a lot more content. So if you practice with this course, I can promise you that your American accent will improve a lot. All right, let's learn some more words with the O sound. Let's make some more sentences with to hold office. You can use it in the past tense like this. He held office for 8 years. He held office for 8 years. And that means he was president for 8 years. The Supreme Court justices hold office for life. The Supreme Court justices hold office for life. You can also say to hold public office, and that means the same thing. Let's look at a sentence that I found online that uses this expression. Yang, who'd never held public office, announced he was running for president in 2017. Trump, a real estate magnate who had never before held public office, was elected president in November. The next expression is to be sworn into office. Swear, swore, sworn. Let's say that again, sworn. To be sworn into office. The President of the United States is elected on November 3rd, but he's sworn into office on January 20th. It's an official ceremony. It's the process of swearing in. We can say, when will the new Prime Minister be sworn into office? On the day the President is sworn into office, he takes an oath of office. And an oath is a promise. And this oath is written in the American Constitution. Let's read what the oath says, what every American president says on the day that he's sworn into office. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. If you watch the inauguration ceremony, you will hear the president saying those words. Let's continue now with more pronunciation rules. Let's look at these 3 words. Do you know what these words mean? Let's pronounce them first. They have that same O sound. O. POTUS. POTUS. FLOTUS. FLOTUS. And SCOTUS. SCOTUS. These are acronyms. They're abbreviations. POTUS is President of the United States. People in the news media frequently use these expressions. And FLOTUS, do you know what that is? First Lady of the United States. And the First Lady is the wife of the president, right? And currently it's Melania Trump. And SCOTUS is Supreme Court of the United States. And you will see these acronyms when you're reading newspapers, but also when you're listening to the media talking about politics. These are frequently used words. I found the following sentences in online newspapers. POTUS is expected to be in attendance. There will be significant street closures to prepare for the arrival of the POTUS. Let's look at the pronunciation of the words vote and voter turnout. Same sound, O, vote, vote. And voter turnout is the percentage of eligible voters who vote. In the last presidential election, which was in 2016, the voter turnout was 55.5%. And how does that compare to your country? Is it higher or lower than that? Let's look at a sentence using voter turnout. Every 1% increase in voter turnout amounts to 2.3 million votes. Every 1% increase in voter turnout amounts to 2.3 million votes. And do you know the meaning of GOP? That's another name for the Republican Party. It's a traditional nickname for the Republican Party, and it stands for Grand Old Party. It started from a long time ago, and we still say it today, the GOP. It's often used by reporters on TV and in newspapers. For example, you will hear a sentence like this: President Donald Trump is the GOP candidate in the 2020 election. And here are some sentences from online newspapers. Democrats oppose the GOP stimulus because they say it falls short of the country's needs. Trump's GOP allies are reconvening the Senate this week to vote on a virus proposal. And the name Donald Trump also has some sounds that are difficult to pronounce. Let's learn some rules about American pronunciation in relation to his name. That O is pronounced as an ah sound. It's not do, it's da. Donald, for example, job or hot or not or mom, product, office. Open your mouth, ah. But let's look at that letter A. We have to reduce it. So we say Donald. In the same way that we reduced Biden, we reduced the letter E. We said Biden. In this case, we reduce the letter A and we say Donald. Donald. Don't say Donald. It's Donald. And one of the former presidents of the United States was Ronald Reagan. Same thing. Ronald. Donald, Ronald. Make sure that you reduce both of those A's and the O's sound like ah. Ronald Reagan, Donald Trump. Ronald Reagan was the 40th president of the United States, and Donald Trump is the 45th president of the United States. And now I think you'll be able to say both candidates' names with the perfect American accent. Let's say them. Joe Biden, Donald Trump. And let's learn the correct pronunciation of one more final expression related to politics. It has two different meanings, and that's the Oval Office. The Oval Office. First of all, notice I didn't say the Oval, I said the Oval, because oval begins with the vowel sound. So we change the into the because of the connection. The Oval. And what did I do with the letter A in the word oval? I reduced it exactly the same way that I reduced the A in Donald. The Oval. We don't say oval, we say oval. But what did I do with the letter O? I rounded my lips O, the same way as in the word Joe. Joe. Oval. The Oval. How about the O of the word office? It's like the O in the word Donald. Office, office. And now we're going to connect the L with the O. Oval office, Oval Office because it's one unit, it's one meaning. Let's say that together. The Oval Office. The Oval Office. You probably know the first meaning of the Oval Office. It's the actual office in the White House. It's the president's office. It's located in the west wing of the White House. So you can say, the president is working in the Oval Office. But often, the Oval Office is used to describe the presidency in general. For example, you can say, Trump and Biden will compete for the Oval Office. The next occupant of the Oval Office will have to deal with that difficult issue. So people often say, the occupant of the Oval Office, meaning the president. And a final reminder to you, make sure you study the vowel sounds of American English. They can be pretty difficult. For example, the O spelling can have 3, sometimes even 4 different pronunciations. We have the O as in Joe, or no, or hold, or the O spelling pronounced as an A, as in office, Donald, hot, God, job, or the O as in son, love, done, mother. That's a different sound than the other 2. And sometimes the O can be pronounced as aw, for example, dog. Vowel sounds are not easy in English because the spelling doesn't necessarily correspond to the pronunciation. So remember, you can always buy my American accent course to teach you all of those details and to show you the mouth position and the tongue position. Thanks for watching and keep practicing your English.